You probably already wondered why some people look small but are strong. Or maybe you've seen the mountain of a human being and when you saw him train, you realized that he's benching like 110 kilos.
I have never bench pressed, with a pause, more than 110 kilos.
I actually had absolutely no clue that he's actually benching exactly 110 kilos. I literally just found this clip right now while editing. And if you excuse me now, I have to go and make some bets on horse racing. But why is that? How can that happen? Well, the first thing is different technique. People who focus on strength will use a technique that will let them lift the most weight possible. But for hypertrophy, you actually want to do kind of the polar opposite. You want to get the most amount of stimulus from the least amount of weight, to a reasonable degree, obviously. And also you want to get the stimulus in the right areas. That's where you can start using techniques on certain movements that will make the movement more biased towards hitting one specific muscle group. But what the hell am I talking about? Well, for an example, a squat. Most powerlifters do a low bar squat and they use a very hip dominant squat technique. Whereas if you're a bodybuilder and you want the most amount of quad growth possible from a squat, chances are you will be doing a high bar squat with the most amount of knee flexion that you can possibly do and try to remain upright in the process. I used to automatically do kind of a more power lifter bias squat before, and that's where you can see on the left. And on the right is my current squat technique, which is focused completely on quad growth. And as you can see, there's a lot more knee bend, my hips don't shoot back as much, and I'm trying to stay more upright. The second reason is that strength is a skill that you can train. Now, if you're getting stronger over time, you will still become bigger as well, but strength is not only how much muscle you have, it's also neural adaptations, technique. And with that said, I believe if you take a bodybuilder and he will not gain a single pound of muscle during the process, but he will try to get stronger, he will probably get much stronger. The third reason is the difference between accumulating stimulus and just simply getting stronger. If you're training for strength, you're striving for weight PRs. And when you're done with a certain weight, you will go on to the next one, and then to the next one, and then to the next one. Because you want to get to the next weight. But if your goal is hypertrophy, you don't give a shit about that, or at least I don't, because the weight doesn't matter. Now, obviously it does, but the weight is simply a number. What you want as a bodybuilder is the stimulus. And so, as long as you can get appropriate stimulus from a certain weight, there's really no point in going onto the next weight. So that's why as a bodybuilder, you will be milking the same weight for a much longer period. And that's why you will grow more. And so you can get to the same weight on the bar slower while accumulating more stimulus and therefore getting bigger. The fourth thing is the balance of the physiques. A bodybuilder may look bigger while not actually being bigger, just because their physique is more balanced. Maybe there are only certain body parts that are actually bigger on the bodybuilder. For example, in powerlifting, the arms don't get a lot of love, so a bodybuilder would usually have bigger arms because of arm specialization. And big arms make you look bigger just in general. The fifth reason is exercise selection. Which of these is a more effective muscle builder? The conventional deadlift or a Romanian deadlift? If you said deadlift, you're either a dogmatic powerlifter or an idiot. The exercise selection differs and bodybuilders will pick exercises that are better for muscle growth, like the RDL over the deadlift. Also, well, even though the bench press is actually a pretty good exercise for hypertrophy, a camber bar bench or a dumbbell bench with extra range of motion, not like most people do it, will give you better chest gains. Also, for example, when it comes to triceps in powerlifting, you're only using your triceps in the bench press. And realistically, as a powerlifter, what accessories will you do to bring up your triceps? Maybe a close grip bench press and maybe push downs. And that compared to a bodybuilder who will do tricep exercises that will focus on the stretch and also that will target specifically the long head. The second one is gonna have way more tricep growth. And the last reason is genetics. The first one is leverages. The big three are insanely leverage dependent lifts. Like in the bench press, short arms are a blessing. In the deadlift, long arms and the short leg is a blessing. Maybe one short leg is not a blessing. If both of your legs are short, that's a blessing. And also, man, people are just different. Some people will grow more easily and other people will get stronger more easily. Like we could both start the same routine tomorrow, you and I. Same diet, same amount of sleep, from the exact same starting point. And when our arms would reach the same size, maybe you would be 10% stronger than me. Maybe I would be 10% stronger than you. Everybody reacts differently to training, but it really doesn't matter what you want. To get big, to get strong, or both, you will need to bulk. And if you constantly struggle with getting your calories in, watch this video.